Welcome back to Hibou Live Coding. So today we are moving on to Florida Payroll. That said, we're not moving on to Florida Payroll quite yet because now that this has been in production, if you will, obviously we've found some issues that need some addressing. One of them is found the computer formula for Ohio withholding. So basically I comparing this to the existing rates that we have right now. The only real difference is this number right here for every single line is going to change to the 1.075 number. So let's try this over here. I wonder if I could set up two different scenes that I could toggle between different quadrants on my monitor. Maybe someday. Okay, so let's go find that. Additionally, I have another problem, but I'll discuss that in a few seconds here. So all right, Ohio, we're gonna pull up its rules. Scroll down here, and we've got 075. Well, technically, let's just do this. All right, we got that done. So the other issue is that technically speaking, this shouldn't ever be the date from, it should be the date to. Specifically, if you have a payslip that overhangs a year, so you start the payslip in December 2018 and your to date is in 2019, all of the rate calculations and stuff should be using the 2019. So what this should always be is date underscore to. So we should really do kind of a bigger refactor, rather search through, so to find all the potential problem ones. So I'm going to come up here and say find in path. Oh, let me switch my trackpad if the trackpad's working. It is. All right. So I'm gonna say dict dot date from, and okay, well that should be date underscore from. Yeah. All right. Let's try that again. Find in path. Date underscore from. Well, that obviously should find something. It should find this one right here. Date underscore from. What did I do wrong here? Maybe I need to reopen this project. Oh no, that's gonna mess with the stream. Fix that in a second. Please stand by. Okay, let's try this again. Nothing to show. Oh, Python. It is technically Python code, which is why I was thinking I was searching for Python, but it's actually in XML. So there are several, and they're pretty much all going to be date to. Now, if you were running these rates before this modification, if you didn't straddle over the year, it won't have any effect, because basically the date from year, the date to year is going to be the same. Alright, so now we've got a couple of changes. Let's go ahead and commit them, and then we can move into microphones like right over where those things are. Alright, so we are one behind. Ah, yes, I made another small module the other day. And this one here should have more changes. Looks good. Ooh, do tests pass? Let's find out. The Ohio ones probably won't. This database hasn't been started, so we're gonna have to wait for that. While that is going, let's go ahead and pop open some of our Florida stuff. Okay, so let's start with the brief, with a very minor refactor. It doesn't behave like this when I'm not streaming. Something to do with the screen recording. Alright, so those tests don't pass as predicted. Let's go take a look at the test, and most likely we're just going to get to... we haven't committed that yet, so let's pull up that data here. Oh, not views. Alright, so down here we actually should probably break this out into a 2018 and earlier. So let's copy from here to here. Oh, let's update this too. Look at that, HTTPS, that made a change. let's extract this piece outside of either calculation since they are effectively all working the same way. Come on. Put this on, it's on line 2. Alright, so we need to change this back to what it was before. Let's go and take a look in source tree. One, 1, 2. And let's come to our test payslip for 2019, and we'll do 075, I believe. Yes. Run our test again. Test pass for 2018. Test pass for 2019. So let's go and put these changes. Let's say correct wage, payslip wage base when for, what would be the best way to describe a payslip that straddles the year? For a payslip in 2 years, that might be better. All right, back onto Florida. Oops, one too many. All right. All right, so let's run, or rather duplicate our run configuration to start running it on Florida. All right, so Florida has 3 years, which means that we're going to need a migration effectively for removing the prior years, which ironically Ohio is also one that has that. So let's go take a look, see at its README file. We need to effectively make one of these. Alright, so the rules that we are looking to deprecate are going to be the rules in here. So let's take a look here. We've got a wages 2016, we have employment 2016, split. Oh, I appreciate that. Florida's got a very easy structure. So does Ohio in its own way. So I appreciate that about both of those states. All right, so that should do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete both of these files. I'm going to remove them from our manifest. And we're going to make a rates file, which we could have copied, but all right, let's pull up our Ohio rates too, and just go ahead and copy this. So let's see if we got new Florida unemployment defaults. $7,000 and all right, so let's copy these into here. We're going to do a no update, so this is going to be Florida 2018, employment 2019, and obviously we'll change these out. So let's close rates, and well, actually let's open the rates over here. Okay, and now over here we can open our base and start doing some of the renaming we need to do. Mainly over here. So this is going to become wage : US-FL unemployment. This is going to be ER : US-FL unemployment. Okay, so that's pretty basic change. Get rid of this. Come into our rules 2018, refactor that to be just rules. Do that in our manifest and add our rates. Alright, right, so let's take, oh, we gotta go to final and remove the old years. All right, so we don't need a year here anymore. So we will put this up front. All right, so this will turn into the same kind of thing that we saw earlier, or sorry, that if you've been watching other ones, then we've got another way of doing this, which is to use the contract type, basically just to allow configuration that somebody could use to not run these rules. Missed one there. Okay, so we need a year. Day 2. All right, so we need to sum our wage, USFL on imp, over the stir of year plus and stir of year plus 1 plus. All right, now we've got, instead we need to get a rate, so we'll do that real fast. And our code is going to be effectively the same thing over here. So these are the Ohio ones, but they're not going to be when we're done. So let's, wait, hold on. Those are rules. I need rates. We have to leave those XML IDs alone so that the upgrade can take place. So we have Florida unemployment. So we're going to do US Florida unemployment. All right, so the basic rate is 2.7, which is the same. And is that for 2019? Doesn't say. Florida Department of Revenue website just says that you've got a maximum rate of 5.4%, blah, blah, blah. All right, and it's 7,000 per employee. So we got our wage base here, 7,000. And that should be fine. And 2.7, ironically, it's the same. So those rates should be good to go. So we're going to get rate for USFL on imp. And then this is going to be rate dot wage limit year. Categories basic is fine. Let's come on down here to this rule. ER colon US dash FL. And this is going to be the same as this one. Rate, and now we're going to use our wage category from above. that bug still exists, so we want that, and that should be good times here. All right, so we very likely passed the old tests. We need to get rid of these tests though. Can't remember if I was taking those out, but it's not that hard to re-add them if we needed to in 10 and earlier versions. Okay, so let's make sure that we're not doing anything here. Oh, this is something we sort of forgot, or rather, I'm doing things in a different order than I did the first time that I was doing them, which is that we no longer need these company form stuff at all. And we have no additional fields on the contract, which is fine. And we need to look at the models because we don't need this at all anymore. This is the food type basic here. We lift it up or potentially buried into the rule, whichever way you think about it. And we don't need this either. So technically speaking, hold on, there's no company. There's no... Yeah, so we don't even need this at all. All right, so let's run our test. See what we messed up. Oh, yeah. So our rules are going to have all kinds of bad stuff in it because we don't do this 2.7. Instead, we'd rather raise this up here. And then we won't set that. And then theoretically anywhere we used it, we will, yeah, we don't want this anymore either. Okay. All right, so if a dictionary doesn't have a key, it's going to raise an exception, and we just want to replace this with 0.0 if it doesn't have it. And then we want to, I'm not sure actually what this test is trying to achieve. If our external wages was, oh, I guess it was 7,000, so this is going to be really 0. So it's 0. So we were, prior to this, we were looking up this rate and getting 0%, and now we know that it's going to be 0. I'm going to do this dot get. Okay, all right. Now we'll run these tests and see what we've gotten to. Alright, so we are in test 2018 taxes, and we're not getting, oh, well duh, it's because we have to replace that with, we also need to provide a sentinel around it, so we don't replace other stuff. And this is going to be wage, USFL, an imp. And then this one is going to be ER. Try it again. So that's my bad. Okay. Test pass, so now we're going to duplicate this. It's 2019. Literally doesn't change anything though, other than we're just going to do some string replaces for 2018 and replace it with 2019. And we're going to replace 2017 with another entity. 2016? Interesting. Okay. And integrate the new tests. Run those tests. Since the rate was exactly the same, there's no changes here whatsoever. And that's the default rate, because normally the rates are going to be per company. That's good. Let's clean up for commit. Really cleaned up a lot of code here. Good. Good. All right, so that does Florida. I'm thinking about the fact that potentially the rate module itself might need to select more based on the date to and less the date from. I will give that some thought, but for the time being, let's grab the commit message that I've been using for other ones. So things like this. New Jersey. We can go ahead and backport that to 10 real fast. Don't have anybody in North Carolina in 10, but they might have an issue if they don't have this guy. Same thing with New Jersey. Ohio looks fine. Couldn't remember why I did that. Okay, so that should be fine. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. We definitely don't need this after the refactor. So we can take this though, that's fine. can leave that, that's fine. But, well, actually, we don't need it anymore. So I have extra files, but it doesn't matter because they're not going to be used, and I'm okay with them just kind of going quietly into the night. All right. Okay. And let's see what I've been labeling these. It's only really a work in progress because we haven't tested it. I have tested the Ohio and stuff now, but it's not like I'm going to go back and change the commits. So I guess we're just going to drop that. And we will commit this and leave that hanging out for the time being. Push that, test. All right, so Florida's in good shape. Let's go ahead and check out our current version here. Should have also cleaned this up. Yep, okay, perfect. All right, back to a good working state. So that wraps it up for Florida and for me for the time being. So if you enjoy content like this, please subscribe. I'd love to be able to name my channel, my live stream channel at some point, which I believe you have to get to 100 subscribers to do. So that would be great. Until next time, we'll see you later.